begin with. There is no doubt about that. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Once upon a time, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal, and he could hear people outside go wheezing up and down, stamping their feet upon the pavement stones. Candles flared in the windows of neighboring buildings, like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown air. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who was in a dismal little cell beyond, copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so much smaller that it looked like one coal. The clerk tried to warm himself at the candle, and, not being a man of a strong imagination, he failed.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah! Humbug!
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas? What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas? Out upon Merry Christmas! What's Christmas time but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Leave it alone then. Much good it may do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are a great deal of good things that I did not profit from, Christmas among the rest. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Good afternoon.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. But I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comfort, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prison.
And the union workhouses? Are they still in operation?
I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. It is a time above all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I hope to support the establishments I've mentioned. They cost enough.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Scrooge resumed his labors with an improved opinion of himself, and the hour of shutting up the counting house arrived.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and it's not fair.
It's only once a year.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
I promise.
There was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door of Scrooge's cavernous manor, except that it was very large. However, before his very eyes, Scrooge thought he could see in it the face of
Jacob. Hello.
Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. However, the thought of the face in the door compelled him to check every cold, empty room before retiring to his own. Just as he thought he might settle for the night, all the bells and clocks started to ring.
How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then? Your particular first shape.
In my time, I was your partner, Jacob Marks.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. There's more of gravy than of grave about you. Whatever you are. Mercy! Dreadful aberration, why did he trouble me?
And of the worldly mind. Do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. You are fettered? Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it with one of my own free will. Would you know the weight and length of the ponderous chain you bear?
Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give.
But you are always a good man of business.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me.
You have yet a chance to escape my fate.
You were always a good friend to me, Jacob.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Expect the first one tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. Remember what has passed between us.
Humbug.
When Scrooge awoke, it was so dark that looking out of bed, he could scarcely distinguish the window from the walls of his chamber. He was endeavoring to pierce the darkness when the chimes struck.
12? It was past 2 when I went to bed. An icicle must have gone into the works. 12? Why, it is impossible that I can have slept through a whole day.
Scrooge recollected the warning from Jacob and resolved to lie awake until the hour was past.
A quarter past. Half past. A quarter to it. The hour itself, and nothing else.
He spoke before the final bell sounded, which it did now, with a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy whine. Scrooge found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past. Your past.
Why do you come, oh bright spirit? Are you here to haunt me for all time?
I am come for your welfare. Take heed, grab a hold of me, and we shall head back.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the wall. The city had entirely vanished. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it, for it was a clear, cold winter day.
Good heaven! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
With 1,000 thoughts and hopes and joys and cares long, long forgotten, your lip is trembling, and what is that upon your cheek? You recollect this way?
Recollect it. I could walk it blindfold.
These are but shadows of things that have been. Everyone will have no awareness of us.
Oh, do my weary eyes deceive me?
The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
Poor boy.
I've come to bring you home, dear brother. We're to be together all the Christmas long and have the merriest time in all the world.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
So she had. You're right.
She died a woman and had children.
One child.
True, your nephew.
Yes.
Although they had only just turned away from the schoolhouse, they were now in the busy thoroughfares of a city. It was evening, and the streets were alive with festivities. The ghost stopped at a warehouse door.
Do you know this place?
Know it. I apprenticed here.
They went in. An old gentleman in a Welsh wig sat behind such a high desk that, if it was been 2 inches taller, he would have knocked his head against the ceiling.
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig, alive again.
Yo ho there, Ebenezer! Clear away the lads and let's have lots of room here. Yo ho, boys! Cheer up, Ebenezer! In anyone and everyone came, anyhow and everyhow, and the party came to life.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small.
Why, is it not? You spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that. It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. The happiness he gives us is quite as great as if it cost a fortune. I would like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk. God, just now. That's all.
My friend feels short.
Again, Scrooge saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life, but his face had begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. He was not alone, joined by a young woman whose eyes were filled with tears.
Another idol has displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one. You may dismiss the recollection of all of this, of us, as an unprofitable dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me?
I told you these were shadows of things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. Leave me. Take me back. Haunt me no longer.
He seized the spirit's cap and, by a sudden action, pressed it down upon its head. The spirit dropped beneath it, but though Scrooge pressed it down with all his force, he could not hide the light. He gave the cap a parting squeeze, for he sank into a heavy sleep. Suddenly, a stream of light, brighter than the sun, had come from around Scrooge's door. Intrigued by the bright light, Scrooge approached. As soon as he reached for the door,
Come in, and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
Never. Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit from it.
Touch my robe.
the room vanished instantly. The fire, the ruddy glow, the hour of night, and they stood in the streets on Christmas morning.
Is there a peculiar flavor in what you sprinkle from your torch?
There is my own.
Would it apply to any kind of dinner on this day?
To any kindly given, to a poor one most.
Why to a poor one most?
Because they need it most.
Spirit, I wonder why you, of all the beings in the many worlds about us, should desire to cramp these people's opportunities of innocent enjoyment.
There are some upon this earth of yours who lay claim to know us, and who do their deeds of passion, pride, ill will, hatred, envy, bigotry, and selfishness in our name. They are as strange to us and all our kin. Remember that and charge their doings on themselves, not us.
Scrooge grabbed the spirit's robe once again and was transported to a home he could not recognize. Scrooge leaned in to look within the window.
And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful, sitting by himself so much and thinking the strangest things you ever heard. He told me coming home. Well, perhaps you tell your mother, son.
But I hope the people saw me in the church, because it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Merry Christmas to us all, my dear. God bless us.
Merry Christmas! God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
No, no, kind Spirit, say he will be spared.
If he is to die, he had better do it, and increase the surplus population.
Far they saw and farther they went, and many homes they visited. It was a long night, if only it were a night. It was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the spirit grew older, clearly older.
Are spirits' lives so short?
The life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark, the time is drawing near.
Forgive me if I am not justified in what I ask, but I see something strange protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw, with the flesh that is upon it. Look here, and I look here.
Get away! Hey, get out of my face! Yeah, go on, get out of here!
Spirit, are they yours?
They are mad, and they cling to me. This boy is ignorant. This girl is wrong. Beware them both. And most of all, beware this boy. While his brow, I see that written which is true, and let the writing be erased. Deny it.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouse?
It slowly, bravely, silently approached. When it came near him,
of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
The spirit only pointed onward with its hand.
You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened but will happen in the time before us? Is this so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I've seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, Spirit. The night is waning fast. Lead on.
Scrooge followed in the shadow of its dress, which bore him up and carried him along. The city seemed to spring up around them and encompass them of its own act. The spirit stopped beside one little knot of business persons. I don't know much about it either way. I only know that he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. He hasn't left it to me. That's all I know. Never dared venture. There was a lowbrow, needling shop with a tin roof where secrets were bred and hidden in mountains of unseemly rags, masses of corrupted fat, and sepulchres of bones.
You couldn't have come to a better place. Come into the parlor. We're all suitable to our calling. We're all well matched. Come into the parlor. Come into the parlor.
What odds then? What odds? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed. No man more than he.
Why then? Don't stand staring as if you were afraid, woman. Who's the wiser? We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats.
Very well then. That's enough. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these?
Not a dead man, I suppose.
If he did, he'd have had someone there to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying there, gasping out his last, alone by himself.
It's the truest judgment there ever was spoke.
That's your lot. Got a sixpence more.
Oh, me next. Me next.
Ah! Dickens!
You don't mean to say you took him down, rings and all with him lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not?
You were certainly born to make your fortune.
I shan't hold my hand when I can get anything in it by reaching out for the sake of such a man as he was. Don't get oil on the blankets.
His blankets?
Whose else's do you think? He isn't likely to be cold without them.
This is the end of it, you see? He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive, for us to profit when he was dead.
Spirit, I see. This case may be my own. My life tends this way now. Let me see some tenderness connected with the death, or that dark chamber, Spirit, will be ever present for me.
The spirit conducted Scrooge through several more familiar streets. They entered poor Bob Cratchit's house. It was quiet. Very quiet.
The colors, they make my eyes weak. Though I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home. Must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I think he's walked a little slower these last few evenings, Mother.
I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim on his shoulder very fast indeed. But he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. None at all.
There is your father at the door. You went today, did you, Bob?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone and seen how green it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there every Sunday. My little child, my little child. However and whenever we part from one another, I am sure none of us shall soon forget poor tiny Tim. Shall we? And I know, my dears, that when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget poor tiny Tim in doing it.
Spirit of Tiny Tim, thy childish essence was from God. Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. You show me not myself. Where is it that my affairs have led me?
The phantom pointed beyond, a churchyard. It was a worthy place for wretched men, walled in by houses, overrun by grass and weeds, the growth of the vegetation's depth choked with too much burial. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only? Say it thus with what you show me.
The spirit was not moved. Scrooge crept towards the grave, trembling in terror. He read the name upon the stone. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Am I the man that lays upon this bed? No, spirit, no. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man that I was. I will not be the man I must have been to arrive upon this course. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Good Spirit, assure me that I yet may change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. Oh, tell me that I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
In his agony, he caught the spectral hand. It sought to free itself, but he held strong, detaining it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him. Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's foot and dress. He shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down to a bed. The bed was his own. The room was his own. Best and happiest of all. The time before him was his own, to make amends in.
I will live in the past, the present, and the future.
He was so fluttered and glowing with good intentions that his broken voice would scarcely answer his call.
The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I don't know what to do. I am as light as a feather. I am as happy as an angel. I am as merry as a schoolboy. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all of the world. Hello there, hello. Ha ha.
Scrooge laughed. Really, for a man who had been so out of practice for so many years, it was a splendid laugh, a most illustrious laugh, the father of a long, long line of brilliant laughs.
I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I have been among the spirits.
He opened the window and put out his head. No fog, no mist. Clear, bright, jovial, stirring cold. Cold piping for the blood to dance in golden sunlight.
What's today?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Of course they did. My boy, do you know the poulterers in the next street?
I should think so.
Ah, intelligent, remarkable boy. Do you know if they've sold the prize turkey hanging in the window?
The one as big as me? It's hanging there now.
Have the poulterer bring it here so he may know where to send it. I'll give you a shilling. I'll send it to the Cratchits. They won't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
He went downstairs to open the street door, ready for the poulterer and the fried turkey.
Here's the turkey. Merry Christmas. Why, it would be impossible to carry that across town. You must have a cab.
He dressed himself in all his best and set out into the streets. The people poured forth as he had seen them with the ghost of Christmas present. He regarded them all with a smile. He had not gone far when he encountered the gentleman who had walked into his business the day before. It sent a pang across his heart to think of how they would look upon him. Scrooge knew what he had to do.
My dear sir, I hope you succeeded yesterday. A Merry Christmas to you.
Mr. Scrooge.
Yes, that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon, and you will have the goodness to...
Lord bless me! Are you serious, Mr. Scrooge?
Not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included, I assure you.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Come and see me, will you?
We will. We most certainly will.
Thank you 50 times. Bless you.
He walked about the streets and watched people hurrying to and fro. He patted children on the head and questioned beggars and peered into kitchens and windows and found that everything could bring him a smile. He had never dreamed that anything could bring him so much happiness. As the day waned, he turned his attention to his nephew's house. He passed the door several times, mustering courage.
Fred,
Why, bless my soul, who is that?
it is your Uncle Scrooge. I've come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?
Scrooge was at home in less than 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. It was a wonderful party, with wonderful games and many a wonderful laugh. He stayed late, but he was early at the office the next morning, endeavoring to catch Cratchit coming in late. And he did it. Cratchit's hat and comforter were off before he even opened the door, and he set off to work as quickly as he could, as if he was trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
Hello. What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are? I say you are. Step this way, sir, if you please.
It is only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now I'll tell you what, friend. I am not going to stand for this sort of behavior. And therefore I'm going to raise your salary.
What?
A merrier Christmas, Bob, than I have ever given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your family. Make up the fire before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, he became a second father. He became as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other city or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and his own heart laughed. That was enough for him. May that truly be said of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.